Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of Doom School for Dummies. I am Doomsday. Again, just to point out, none of you guys are dummies. Basically, this is us improving. It's me and David trying to improve. As you'll notice, we're also dual queuing again. This is from our Silver League Squad episode on Wednesday on Twitch. He also posts this to his channel, which I'll include in the description. So if you want to watch the original video without the commentary, obviously me and him will be talking, but you'll be able to watch that. Whole goal of these is to not only critique myself and my team, but also show you what the enemy team was doing, help give you guys tips and tricks. And if you're playing with us or against us, hey, maybe this is some good feedback. Feel free to give me feedback too, guys. Like, I'm not above criticism. Ironically, I played Johanna again in this game, and I think I went a much more normal build than I went in the Cursed Hollow game. So I think you'll be able to see the good difference there. I'm extremely hard on myself, and I hold everybody else to that same standard. So if you feel like I'm being too harsh, it's not intentional. I just feel like I'm trying to help. I'm in gold, so I'm no one special. So if you guys feel like I'm critiquing unfairly, please let me know. I want the criticism. I want to improve. Basically, I won't be going over talent builds except for myself and maybe David, just because that'll end up taking too long. You'll be able to pause this and see what skills they take. I always try to kind of show it at the end, and if there's anything in particular that stands out to me, I'll talk about it. I wasn't going to do always Hero League streams, but I think this is a good way for you guys to be able to kind of be able to see content that has been repackaged, so to speak, so it's got a consistent theme. Let me know though if you want me to just show games where I play by myself or non-Hero League games, or games you may not have already seen before. So just kind of let me know, give me feedback. Friendly team is Lily, Falstad, Jaina, Thrall, and Johanna. If you watch my Cursed Hollow game, you'll know this is kind of a similar team. They have the charism instead of us, and we're still pretty squishy. So if you think about it, Falstad, Jaina, and Thrall are all... Thrall does have sustain, but he can be burst down along with Falstad. But we have a little extra utility at Falstad goes Mighty Gust. And like I said before, Thrall has the self-sustain. So we're going to see how this goes. They decided to kind of go for a very bursty team, but it's kind of all in with a... I like ETC, but we have a ton of interrupts and ways to stop the mosh pit, and on top of that, he's going to have trouble sustaining, in my opinion. We have the Lily blinds and the Johanna blinds for the charism, so I think he's going to struggle. If Nova plays really well, she can have a big impact on her team along with Vala, but I think we did a good job drafting. I think this is a better draft than last time, but we'll see what happens. I actually think it's really cool. I can see they're actually collecting SCV stuff. So let's see. I wish I could zoom out a little bit more. So you see we're all kind of going mid. Our comp can kind of burst someone down. Enemy team, I believe, is situating to do the same thing. And not to repeat myself too much, but guys, really the point of this is, especially in this map, going top and bottom is really pointless. So the real reason to go mid is there's a possibility to get an early game kill. But if you don't have the ability to really stun or displace someone, don't bother. Like as you can see, Li Ming's going top. We come here for the vision. I try to lead. Jane is doing a great job positioning. I'm just going to pause it right here so you guys can see this becomes kind of the focus area. So what you really want to do is you'll see she's positioning in a good spot along with their Nova. Now, I think this could have gone poorly for us, but the Li Ming's going to be a little late to the party. I believe Lily was... AFK, wasn't paying attention. You see, I actually don't understand the charism here. He really should be supporting his team here, but he's actually coming to gank Thrall, which is always a bad idea. Maybe delay him. Jaina lands a good blizzard here, and let's see what happens. So as you can see, I get really low, which is always a little dangerous, but because I know I don't have a lot of early games of sport. But look at how well my team is positioning for me. Lily obviously is late. Now Li Ming's coming in. I probably would have died if she'd have been here sooner, and this would have really turned around for our team, but thankfully she was not. Pop the shield, blind, and we're actually able to turn this around. Really good move by the Falstad. Unfortunately dies, so we actually trade 1 for 1 there, which actually isn't too bad. Lily and Jaina go a little bit deep. Good wolf by the Thrall, and I was able to kind of peel off the Vala. They're trying to chase here, but with their decreased mount speed, this isn't really going to happen. Good job. I was able to get the Vala here, and as you can see, they're able to get away safely. So this is actually a mistake on the Jaina's part. If you know there's a Nova on the enemy team, you really should come up that far. Same with the Lily. Now, the advantage of Lily is she does have the blinds and the ability to move a little faster, so there's always that. We're getting uncontested XP in the bottom with Falstad, so, and they got a good kill on the Nova. Sorry for missing that for you guys. And actually, you shouldn't underestimate Lily. She can do a lot of damage. But if Nova's not really doing a good job, we're going to get this XP. Now, he needs to be careful here. Vala can do a lot of damage pretty quickly. This is pretty much a standstill. I mean, tank... I have a little bit more damage than them, but they have a little more sustain. Miss Wolf by the Thrall. But as you can see, we can put a little bit more hurting on them. We got to be careful though, because Kerosene actually has pretty good sustain. And oh, look at Falstad being a little cheeky. And now you see kind of the unique feature of this map, and since I haven't showed this before, I'm going to pause right here. As you can see, we have about a level lead thanks to the Falstad, and now Warheads are going to spawn here and here. Later in the game, they're also going to spawn here and here. Basically, what you have to do is collect these on a long channel time. You cast them, and they do increased damage in the center of the ring that you guys will see. So you always should basically position on this tower, which will get the healing well and this, but it will completely destroy the tower and most of this one to give your Great Lane a good push. Really getting sustained damage on all of it and giving the towers very little health isn't nearly as helpful. So we're basically pretty much even. As you can see, the Lily did a good job rotating. I'm about half health. Falstad did a good job. Actually, let's see. Good vault in by the Vala. Ooh, good barrel roll. I think he got the... Oh, he hasn't got an extended range yet. And just to pause right here, 7 seconds. This Jaina really should be positioning further down to kind of help us. Yes, we're forcing the healer back, which he should have. If he was going to do that, he should have done it earlier. But I believe the ETC had to go back, so now they're kind of rotating in. Lily's doing a good job rotating. She understands that, hey, this is going to be a little more contested and we are going to have the numbers advantage. But really, if you're going to hearth back, you should do so earlier, even if it means missing on a little XP, because of just the power of these warheads. So now Nova's forced into a spot where she kind of has to delay. Pretty good gank by the Jaina, but now she's late. Yes, she's gotten her low, but she's got some pretty good sustain, and she has her healing well up. She'll be able to still get in. So as you can see, we're just delaying. And now, for some reason, Jaina has chosen to stay top. In this map, even more than Brax's holdout and some of the others, these control points, these warheads are so powerful, there's really no reason to stay. The XP isn't worth it. You get such an XP boost from the warheads. It's just she should be rotating down. I'm actually not sure what's going on here, so let's hit play and actually see why they're waiting. They have the numbers advantage. But actually, you know what? I take that back. They're doing a good job actually pushing the wave in to force Nova to actually back up or tank the whole wave and the two heroes. So now we're actually... She's going to lose out on that XP. That was a horrible hammer. So we actually got the warhead. And actually, ETC was able to get there to push us out because we didn't have the Jaina. Thrall now weren't able to sustain through that, but good rotation by David to actually come down here, because if you can focus the warhead, you can do a lot of work. So you really want to make sure you get guaranteed value out of that. There is an ability to cancel the channel time, but you have to be really, really, really good about it. See, as you can see, just basic attacks don't actually interrupt it. So since we got damage on this, she should just focus this, because now this tower is still up. They're pursuing, and not going to get the kill, but they are going to get the tower. So now we're basically trying to stop the ETC who's trying to rotate to get damage. And I believe only stuns and silences stop the channel time, or kind of displacement. So now we're fighting over this. Nova's late rotating. There's no one soaking mid, and we're actually getting XP bottom because Zavala had to leave. So the enemy team's doing actually a very poor job soaking in and catching up in XP. Good Blizzard. So we're able to kind of zone them out here. Basically, at all costs, you want to hang on to this warhead. Lily's a little late rotating top, which is fine. They're able to do some pretty good work bottom. So I'm overextending just a little bit. I really need to work on that as Johanna. I'm taking a little unnecessary damage. Lily's actually stopping to get the wave, which is not necessarily a bad idea, but with actually with even them, oh no, we were outnumbered, and I rotated a little bit, which is my fault. I was actually trying to find the ETC, forcing Jaina to go back, so that's my fault. Doing a good job poking by the Nova. And actually, since we were able to drive him back, the decision by the Lily actually works out. If I'd actually saved the Jaina, this would have gone far better, but that's completely my fault. Again, overextending a little bit, knowing I can get out. Good route, but that's unnecessary damage I don't need to take. And actually, as you can see here, I moved out to think I could... I end up dying here. Oh, maybe I don't. Again, a good route, good turnaround. Bad. That wasn't a bait, guys. That was just a bad play on my part. I'm coming back to try to make sure we both gotta rotate back. I'm actually not sure what happened to the Falstad. Just was focusing on this action, and as you can see, don't underestimate Lily. She actually has such great sustain and blinds that Vala really shouldn't try to trade with her. And good job by David actually encouraging the team. You should always do that. Nova trying to kind of go for a kill. But they're doing a very poor job soaking. In fact, they all had to basically go back. I don't think yeah. Oh, good job by the Jaina actually seeing her. See, now you can see there are 4 Warheads. And this is actually a really good play on their part. I'm impressed that she's able to see that. I'm actually in order to position bot. David's doing a good job rotating 9 seconds. Now they have two top that one of them, whom if we don't kill, is going to have to go back. And they're in position for this one. Even though he's probably going to have to clear this wave. So he might be a little late to that Warhead. Let's check back at the end top. Good kill. So now let's see how this all pans out. I'm by myself, so we're not going to worry about me, and there's no one really even in the area. Good job by the ETC. Well, actually not as good a job by the ETC. A little pause on his part. He really should have been here earlier. Good rotation by the Vala, and actually I'm going to pause here. Unfortunately, poor David took a lot more damage, expecting the team to be with him, and Lily might be able to channel this, but as you can see, we again still have 2 top, which actually isn't bad because there's a Warhead, but with the poke from the Li Ming, they maybe should have rotated, especially since the Falstad has fly, and actually helped us grab all 3 of these, especially since there's only 1 top and she's trying to soak and we have a 2-level lead. Lily was able to get it. Karazim was able to get his. Good job driving back the Li Ming, who actually I wasn't as impressed with. I don't think she utilized her opportunities as much as she should have. And going orb build is not necessarily a bad idea, but I think with the throw on the Falstad, if you're a Li Ming player, even though it is the best build right now, you might want to adapt, especially with an ETC who can peel, but it's going to have a lot of trouble. And 2 other squishies on your team, you may have to kind of go with more of a bruisery build. Karazim's probably going to try to capitalize mid with the Warhead, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That should have been an easy kill, especially with Calamity. But good job by Jaina grabbing that. She needs to be careful. In fact, Nova's probably looking to grab her. Good job by the Falstad. A little overextended, but good recovery. Oh, Lily's kind of out of position. Let's see. Another good peel by David. A good route. So Lily's able to safely retreat. I think Jaina's staying a little too much, especially on this map where the Warheads matter so much. You should just back up. It's actually unfortunate our healer has the other Warhead, because it's a little tougher for her to go to an opposite lane and just kind of shoot it. Good poke damage is actually forcing us back, and see, actually this is a perfect example, guys. We almost have 10. They're all pretty healthy with a Warhead. She was going to have to go back anyway, so she should have just done this. Trying to stay in the fight with no health and no fountain is really just not a good idea. I'm low too, but I have a lot of mana, and so does Lily, so I know I can probably get the heals. And since I'm now going to be the lowest health target, it's going to prioritize her heals for me. Good poke by David, and we're just really trying to delay. We're trying to force them to use... Yeah, I mean, if they use the nuke here, that's fine. But we're trying to delay them, especially since now we have 10. And actually, I'm going to pause right there. I actually thought that was going to interrupt. ETC going in way too deep. Now we're able to capitalize on his healer. It was a good Sunder, actually bringing Vala, right? Is that Vala? Yeah, that's Vala. Over here. And now we're able to kind of do a lot of work. Oh, what happened? Did I click? Let's go back. Sorry about that, guys. I still getting used to this whole interface. Okay. Let's hit play and see that again. So as you can see... Oh, I know what happened. So, word of warning, guys, if you're watching a replay, don't click on a character. It ends up following them. As you can see, we're able to get the kill on the Vala, which is why I jumped back to the fountain. Lily's got to be careful here, but now see, ETC's out of position, which was my fear for their team. If you're ETC, you are a bruiser who typically goes in with another hero, and he's having to kind of divide his attention, while I don't have to worry so much about my team, especially with the Thrall sustain and the Falsehood able to kind of reposition. She didn't take much damage from that at all. Good Gus actually bringing the ETC in. Good Ring, able to kill the Kerzim, and we're able to take care of the ETC. And then the kill on the Vala. So as you can see, guys, when you're ETC, I think you should be really careful. I think Amerna would have been a better pick because he's kind of forced into tool roles that he's not really comfortable with. I think it probably should use on the towers. It only got half damage and really didn't get anything else. And in fact, I think this is actually a waste of a nuke. See, we're all 5 here. They're just now respawning. In fact, ETC and Kerzim are still in the base. It's just Li Ming with basically no mana. And Vala is actually going bot, which actually isn't a bad idea. In fact, if the enemy team is mad at her, really you shouldn't be. Especially, guys, if you're ever playing and I got in trouble with an Abathur today. Actually, when we were playing on Towers of Doom and Middle Fort got taken. And while it was respawning, I went top to get XP, and he complained that I left the team mid when there was really nothing I can do. So in this situation, you really shouldn't be mad at the Vala. She can come get XP that we don't have, get them 10, and maybe even get push and get this fort. While defending top, we're already going to leave. There's no reason for us to continue pushing in, especially it'd be dangerous to try to get this camp. So good decision by the Vala to try to get that XP. And see, that's just a waste. We could have pushed in and gotten it anyway. Now with the death timers the way they are, let me pause right here. With the death timers where they are, there's probably worth it. But False going a little deep trying to get the kill on the Li Ming, especially with Teleport's a bad idea, knowing that they were respawning and probably going to rotate. It's just not worth the kill. Now he's just taking unnecessary damage while we're actually just getting a tower. So this puts him in a really bad spot, and he should have barrel roll off cooldown unless he uses it to engage, which now he's in a super bad spot. Now the nice thing is that David and I can kind of help him recover. As you can see here, it makes it pretty easy. Good jugs. And now we're in a position where we're actually in the dominant stance because they're still not 10. And this is actually another good example. If you see ETC is the only one dead, and the real reason being is he doesn't have the sustain of other tanks. And I'm sorry, I didn't really know why I paused. I was probably thinking I was going to attack more. But this actually makes this team have a lot of issues, especially since Kerzim has to stay in melee range. And now we're able to capitalize. Now we're able to get this. We're able to get this and then try to get boss. Because they're still not 10. And we can clear this pretty quickly, especially with the Blizzard. As you can see, I used the Condemn to bring them all in and get this. And this time I actually went block, where her basic attacks actually reduce the next. Using a basic ability, reduces damage taken from the next heroic basic attack by 75%, stores up to 2 charges. Yes, I know Li Ming and Nova do ability damage, but there's not much I can do to prevent that. So instead, I'm going to focus on reducing the damage from these 3 heroes. I know he doesn't do a lot of attack damage, but really I'm worried about the Vala. I can kind of survive through the bursts of these 2, and I don't really have a way to mitigate that, and the regen really wouldn't help me. Instead, I went Laws of Hope at level 4 to kind of compensate for that. But now we got the camp. We forced them back, and we're making sure that the Falsa is following us because we really need his damage. Unlike Cursed Hollow, where we kind of split off, everybody needs to attack this. And as you watch, he chunks me. Now let's pause real fast. We have 18 seconds, 2 warheads. Nova's mid, which I believe she actually didn't go for the bribe talent. So she's really just trying to catch them up in XP. If they're smart, I don't remember what they do here, but really they can't contest, so really should just take this and push mid. I know it feels bad to kind of leave a boss to the enemy team, but you're 2 levels down. There's really not much you can do. So they're actually making the right choice. Or are they? Oh, okay. So actually ETC is making a kind of a cool decision here, guys. He's actually going to try to steal the nuke from out from under us. Oh, they really should have gone for that. See, right here, that indecision, he really should have just grabbed it. He didn't see us on the minimap, so yes, this is a problem, but if you have all your abilities up, you could probably slide out. I think Kerzim should not have gone 7-sided strike. I think, especially with an ETC, you really need that Divine Palm, just in case, because then he can Divine Palm and Mosh Pit. They actually didn't fully clear out our camp, so this is going to get value because it's outside the tower range, and we're about to cap boss just as the spawn. So now, since it's such a long cast time, easy, yeah, good gust, trap them in the corner and slow them. This isn't really doing them a lot of good because we're all in the circle. And I know that looks scary, guys, but if you see 7-star strike, everybody should pile in because then it actually halves the damage, as you can see here. Each strike hits the highest health target nearby for 7% of their maximum health. So they're kind of the opposite of the jugs in that it doesn't do damage, but if you all pile in, just like the jugs get spread around, you can actually mitigate a lot of that damage. Nova was able to get the nuke pretty much uncontested, but now, since they delayed, we're now also going to nuke and we have boss pushing. So this was a definite misplay on their part. And actually, Li Ming, who's most of their damage, is taking a lot of unnecessary damage. And really, we're a little slow rotating. We really shouldn't be going back. I know we're out of mana, but really we could just push and get a couple orbs. So unfortunately, we're not able to push with this. And we actually have to go mid. Now, who has the nuke? Oh, actually, they were able to get both nukes. Sorry. Right? Oh, sorry. I didn't realize Falstad had it. My fault, guys. Sorry. Good call. Actually using this early. Like, unlike before, none of them are dead, so you just want to use it and get out. So now what we're really forcing them to do, we're just getting them even further behind, because now these lanes are so long. As you can see, we're just getting great value. Our lanes are pushing a lot farther. And I don't know. I think she miscollected and actually shot a precision strike in the middle of nowhere. So now they're forced to clear while we're able to rotate. We're actually waiting on a gank, apparently. I just feel like getting bot because it's so low that, and I actually get a shield glare kill with the shield glare. So they are actually rotating on us. I'm feeling pretty confident here. I'm not too worried, especially since the fort's so low. Good job by the Nova actually forcing Falstad back. She's not able to get as much value, but forcing him back is pretty good. So now here comes the... So, that's hard to... So I'm going to critique, but at the same time, I'm not going to blame. And the difference between that is it's unfortunate to overlap your abilities, but since you're not on comms, like, there's not much you can do. And I mean in all seriousness. So that wasn't the fault of the Falstad or David. Figuring out which one of you is going to use it when you're not talking to each other is tough. Now, it depends on your prioritization of ultimates. I think David's is actually stronger. Should be used on the full team, while the Gust, even though it is strong, is just a pushback, not so much a stun, could just be used to interrupt the mosh pit. So, you know, neither one of them are at fault. Like, it sucks that two ults got technically wasted. I mean, we did interrupt mosh pit, and that's basically dead. But, like, there's nothing you can do here. Don't ever get mad at each other for this happening, because it's no one's fault. But because of that, they're not able to get any value off of this, and we're all still pretty high health. And actually, jugs are off cooldown. So that's also good, because now there's not a stun for that. So they don't really have any way to interrupt the jug. And as you can see, it doesn't do them a lot of good. And actually, I'm going to pause, because that was a beautiful Ring of Frost. And actually, this is the same problem we ran into that I'm beginning to notice with Karazim. Look how close he is to the enemy team, because he's basically frontline. And ETC doesn't have the sustain, so he's actually trying to get out. Now they both get caught in the Ring of Frost. Nova's still up, but this is actually why I don't like picking Nova, in that she is a burst hero, but if you're not winning, and if you're not able to burst the heroes down, as you can see, we're up 12-2, it doesn't do you a lot of good. And since you don't have any interrupts for the jugs, we're all just going to come back full health, and Karazim, because he took a damage ultimate, isn't really going to get any use out of it. So we're going to kill Karazim there. We're going to kill... Oh, we didn't get another kill. They were able to actually escape. But now, 3 people up were able to get this fort. So now, really, if you're these two, there's not much you can do. And this is actually the only complaint I have about these large maps like this or Cursed Hollow. Even though these are pushing in, so you're able to kind of kill the minions quickly, this map is really hard to come back once we kind of start to get a roll. You need a really good team fight, and they're really not a team equipped to come from behind. So these two, all they can do is retreat, which again is another problem I have with Nova. And she's hitting me. I'm not really worried about the damage, especially with Lily, who played very, very well. I haven't really talked about her, but her positioning has been very good. She's mitigated a lot of the damage, and also, and I'm going to pause right here because I actually make a mistake, and I'm going to talk about it. But I want to just brag about the Lily. Lily looks like a really easy hero to use, but she's doing a great job positioning, not making herself vulnerable. And actually, my only complaint here is actually Jaina should be further to the right, and this Falstad, even though there's only one dead, and as you can see, they're all still in the well here. He is. Yes, Nova really shouldn't engage, but he's making himself highly vulnerable. So just in general, guys, it's a good practice to get into. Always stay to the right of a boss because, you kind of have the advantage there. They have to go through more people. So that's really the only complaint. He was a little brave, but he made it work, so it's hard to complain. And then watch the mistake I make. Right there. So I spooked the Falstad. I should not have done that. I thought it had longer range and actually could check the fog. And as you can see, Nova's not even biased. She knows she can't contest. She's just clearing. They're doing the smart move and actually clearing here because this wave still hasn't pushed in, so they really can't get that XP. And actually, we did a good job taking this, so they don't even have this to help them push top, and this is too close to boss for them to take. But I shouldn't have done that. I actually spooked the Falstad, and that was a mistake. And in fact, I really should chat more and let my team know, hey, you really need to be on this side. So then, for spawning, they're all top, and we can see on the map, so we know we're actually safe to take this. Jaina's actually doing the right thing. She has 17 seconds to go back, and we know because of boss, they're probably going to take top recall, and then we're going to have probably 3 nukes in this pushing if they don't defend. So again, bringing them together so that way we can get a better AoE damage. We know we don't have Jaina, it's just habit. And, oh, I'm sorry, I thought Vala was on our team. A little brave by the Falstad. I think he actually spooked the Vala because she missed her skill shots. But he really should have just been with us. And in fact, again, positioning a little bit further to the right. This is a little bit tougher because you don't know which direction the enemy team is going to come from. But also, a mistake, in my opinion, by the Kerzim and the ETC, really. When you know boss is pushing, you really can't contest these. You're 3 levels down, so really you should just recall, come through this way. Because if we decide to rotate for this nuke, Kerzim by himself, but because they're taking so long, and actually Li Ming and Nova are top, we actually make a really good call, in my opinion.
Warheads have been deployed.
So this is a little dangerous by the Falstad. I don't know if he was looking at the minimap or not, but since Nova's cloaked, I'm assuming he wasn't. It's a little dangerous. Nova and Vala can really solo him. Yes, he's got a huge thing here, but if they get the jump on him, there's not much he can do. I don't like this strafe on the Vala because, again, you need any kind of stun for the Jug and any kind of stun on the rest of us to kind of slow us down. I go immediately for mid. Lily's going to take one bottom, and they're really in a tough spot because all we really need to do here is just delay. I'm not even really worried about taking this. My goal here, and actually this is, so let me pause again. I'm really trying to evaluate myself here. This was a mistake on my part. I actually didn't see Jaina coming this way. I should have navigated through here. I know he could stun me a lot in the damage, but I really should have protected my Jaina. I'm actually forcing her back by my poor positioning, and then taking an unnecessary orb because I kind of was trying to compensate. But really, all we need to do here is just delay. Because actually, I love this decision. I wasn't sure about it at first, but getting the nuke down, missing the core because you really want this center to be on the core. I actually don't know if that counts as full damage, and the Falstad helping this push in just against the Vala, who's really not doing anything here. If she was going to, this team actually did a very poor job communicating with one another. If she's going to be back. It really should be Li Ming with the orb presence. She's not going to be able to do as much defending. And now since Lily already used her, she can go back and get this one. And we're still delaying with a basically full boss pushing and a camp. So as you can see, I'm really low. I just want to point out another fantastic Ring of Frost, which actually, in a great still image, shows why I love how this Jaina played and why I think this comp really suffered. Because if it was Rhaegar, he may have still gotten caught, but he can actually chain heal out of this. He needs to be in kind of a small duration, and he keeps getting caught with the ETC. They thought this would be really strong in terms of front line. What we countered with actually really killed them, and now all 4 of them are rooted. David's coming in full health. I can actually get a quick drink and come right back. Jane is still full health, and boom, interrupted. Kerzim's almost dead, and we actually get a keep while they're fighting over one nuke that really isn't going to do them any good because we have all of our buildings. So now basically dead with a nuke, which, hey, cool, that's helpful. Basically dead. Our boss is still almost full health. And I believe, I can't actually tell because all the crap, but I think there's still a camp. I think there's still a camp down here. Oop, don't want to do that. Let me unlock that. I think there's still a camp pushing down there. So we'll have to see once the boss goes down. No, actually, I think they might have killed it. I think it might have absorbed the damage. Really, we just have a boss pushing, but we're pretty easily be able to take this. And great job by the Falstad to get his rambunctiousness pays off, especially with the Lily. Good job positioning on the other side of the boss. I think that's kind of an early gust, but I totally understand. You want to protect boss. You're both hitting the core. It's already dropped its shield, so I totally understand. I don't think we're chasing. I think I just got shot by the Nova. I believe... Oh, they may have been chasing the Karazin, but really we should just be motoring bot and jumping in here. Ooh, good AoE damage by the boss. She's basically dead. And... Oh, if you hit that hammer. Good kill. See, and another great example of why that's just a useless ultimate against people like Falstad, as you can see, like he didn't even kill him. Yes, he took him to a little less than half, but that's about a 50-second cooldown for something that really you're not really benefiting your team a whole lot. So there's the nuke, there's the jug keeping them both alive, and there's another nuke, and GG. And something cool that I didn't notice before, it actually makes all of them blow up. Right? Okay. I thought it made them all blow up. I want to make sure I can see this, because if it goes too far, I won't be able to see stats. That's a pretty quick game, which actually makes it a little easier on me recording, because the last one was 45 minutes. But I know it's pretty much a stomp. I don't mean to show those, but I want to show... Showed a tough loss last time, showed kind of an all-encompassing win, and showing how drafting can really have a big impact because, as you can see in deaths, ETC, yes, Vala had 5. I think 1 or 2 were, especially one towards the end was a garbage death. There really wasn't anything their team could do. But kind of like we were dealing with in our last game on Curse Hollow, Karazim's dying a lot. And in fact, he only did 38,000 healing. Yes, it's 4,000 behind Lily, which nice job on his part. But it's not really meaningful heals in the way that a Rhaegar can change, especially with Ancestral, making ETC that much harder to kill, which is why I think Palm would have been better, especially with the burst. ETC could definitely get guaranteed damage from Jaina and Thrall to kill him, or even Falstad, to make sure the Divine Palm pops. I think Nova was a bad pick. If our Falstad and Jaina played a lot more poorly, I think he could have gotten a lot of value, but as you can see, Jaina had 0 deaths. Some of her positioning was bad, but I think overall she played really well. She hit basically near top of the charts in damage, and actually I'm really glad David is such a good Thrall, because we're able to get a lot of value out of the fact he's, I think, now 9-1 on Thrall, because against this comp, David's going to do really well because he's not being focused. When Thrall has to poke and kind of run away, he's not nearly as effective. But in terms of... I can just look here. Haha. He went the pretty typical build, Rolling Thunder into Red Lightning into Follow Through. I really like the Giant Killer because actually procs with Follow Through. So this is actually going to get that much more damage, making the ETC that much more useless. And then actually, I know this is kind of a weird pick in getting the Fork Lightning, but why this is so good is it combos really well, not with Sundering, with Follow Through, because you can basically chain those abilities together. It's actually what I like to do with Zeratul. And going back to my build, I was able to go Special at 13, which I should have gone in the last game, and Holy Renewal, which I also should have gone in the last game, when we ended up losing a boss, which you guys really, if you haven't watched it, you should watch. It's really a very fun video with a very cool move by an Alarak that I could have lived through if I had taken this talent instead of a different one at 16. So that was definitely a mistake. And we weren't even level 20, so I didn't pick anything there. And very good job by, I like this build by the Jaina. Basically, I'm going to kill you before you can kill me with some good survivability. Oh, hammer gains. Interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. But hey, you know what? Whatever. He played really well. I mean, nothing to write home about in terms of damage, but I did match the Nova, which is basically, if we can match the Nova and not let her run crazy, we're pretty okay. Yeah, guys, if you're going into Hero League, I know Nova's bugged, but please don't pick her. It's not worth it, and if she's not bugged by the time this video comes out, still don't pick her. She doesn't add as much utility. If you're going to go anybody, go Zeratul, because especially on this map, he can Void Prison the core and actually save it. And if you're going to go ETC, you really need someone to combo with him. I think an Artanis would have been good here, because ETC cannot solo tank. Did he do himself any favors? No, he went... Yeah, he tried to go really displacement, which I get, and that's the right call. This is a good actually move. I know this seems weird that he went Insight. Maybe it could have given more survivability if he'd have gone with Transcendence, but he was the solo healer, which is typical, and really needed that extra amount of healing. I know I said I wouldn't really want to talk about these. I'm trying to just focus on the important ones, which is really this. I think was a mistake. I think Rhaegar and Murden would have been much better here, especially if you're going to go ETC. I think they could have substituted the Nova for either an Alarak or a Artanis and done much better, because we would have been able to push through the front line as much, and they would have been able to devastate me with the Artanis damage. And just the ability for us not to be able to kill him, which would have given Leeming time to do a little bit more damage, because as you can see, she was still top. But their Vala really suffered, because if you're Vala, you really need to be able to stand still. She did a good job getting Siege and XP and really trying to bring her team back in. But picking a Vala into a Lily, and I don't remember the order of these picks, Vala's probably picked earlier and Lily picked later, just how picks normally go in Silver and Gold. But if you know you're picking into a Lily, you probably shouldn't go a auto attack build, just kind of as a general rule. And repeating arrow is really weird here. I really don't understand what the point of that was. So, not to lose my train of thought, even though I just did. If you're Vala, you got to be a lot more careful, knowing the blinds are coming from me and Lily. So we're basically nullifying her and nullifying Karazim. So we really outdrafted him in this game, and it shows 18-2. They did not do a great job rotating. They did not do a great job communicating, and this is why I want to emphasize for you guys, we were positive in chat, which always helps, and I know we were winning. But really play together as a team. Even if it's a bad call, try to stay with your team, even if they pick Nova. There's not a lot this team could have done. I feel like the Nova was a selfish pick. Maybe the Vala, if she doesn't play Artanis, if she doesn't play some of those other heroes, it's a lot harder for her. But their team's pretty disjointed, and it doesn't have any cohesion in team fights unless they get that early game lead, which really ETC and Nova should have been roaming. Especially on a big map like this, she wasn't able to get those early game kills, so she wasn't able to kind of snowball. So that's probably it from me, guys. If there's anything I'm missing that you want me to talk about, just let me know. Obviously not here to say anybody's bad. This is all just for improvement. If you guys want me to watch your replays, or if you want me to comment on the videos, just let me know. Like I said, this is designed to be positive and build a positive community. I'm tired of the toxicity. And I know I can get salty, and if you've ever seen the streams, you know that. I'm very passionate. But I'm just as hard on myself, and as you heard, I made some mistakes in this game that thankfully did not cost us, and that I need to take into the next game as Johanna. I picked a better build and positioned a little bit better. And our team did a great job positioning behind me, allowing me to tank. So if you have any feedback for me, just let me know. I am Doomsday, hashtag 1519 in the Nexus, so please feel free to friend me. Join Heroes Radio, so the whole join / Heroes Radio, all one word, in the Nexus, and chat with us. We're on every Wednesday. We have a podcast, which I'll also put in the description. Please, 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 please join us. We want to build a really cool community. We think Heroes is an awesome game. Yes, this is an ad for you to watch me, but really this is an ad for us. Let's all make this game even better. My goal in Quick Match or anything else is to make that game more fun for people. So that's all from me, guys. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you have fun in the Nexus. My cursor is stuck. I'm trying to stop the recording, but as you can see, I can't. But yeah, just let me know what you think. I'm just still trying to work on an outro. I like peace out. If you like something better, just let me know. But yeah, peace out, y'all.